How many of you attended yesterday's session?
I attended.
I could not attend sir yesterday's session, so due to some issue.
Okay. So today we are going to speak about how we can add storage to a virtual machine, Linux virtual machine. As a part of yesterday's discussion, I have shown how you can create a Linux virtual machine and how you can perform package management commands, how many types of operating systems are there. Okay, so yesterday I took one LAMP stack example. Okay, LAMP stack is nothing but Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP. Okay, these collection I have taken yesterday, and I have shown how you can install LAMP stack. Okay, so that is a part of a cloud engineer. As a cloud admin, you have to know package management tools also. Okay, so that is one side. And once your VM is created, okay, so there may be chances, there may be necessities to perform these activities. What are the once we create a VM, okay, we need to do the following. What are the following? Means upgradation. How I can take my VM to a larger size. Okay, to larger size. Okay. Just a minute. Some message has come. Okay. Upgradation of VM. Second one is storage. Means adding storage. Okay, from the virtual machine, how we can create our own image? Creating our own image. Okay, what is that image? VM image. VM image from the VM. Okay, and what are the or what is the necessity? What is the necessity of creating our own image? Okay, so these things we are going to focus today. So for that requirement, okay, let me log in into Azure portal. Okay, let us create a Linux virtual machine and let us finish these three items today. As this is as a part of okay VM management. Okay, for that let me log in into this Azure portal, portal.azure.com. Seven nine five. Five, 0, 7, 7, 6, 0. Okay. Now, as we have discussed yesterday, we can create virtual machine from many places. Okay. So one of the famous places, go to favorites. Okay, from the favorites, select virtual machines option. Virtual machines option. Okay, click on create. Okay, you have to fill up some details. Okay, what is a resource group? Okay, what is a resource group? Yesterday we have discussed. Yesterday I told about the resource group. Okay, click on create, create new. Okay, just I'm giving something like my RG. Okay, you can give any name. Resource group is just like a container, logical container. Okay, so every resource will be a part of resource group. Okay, we have to specify a virtual machine name, my VM. Okay, where you want to create your virtual machine? I want to create virtual machine within central USA, within central US, because it is a popular region. And just to come down, and I am selecting security type and Ubuntu image type. Image type is I am selecting Ubuntu server 18.0. Yesterday we have discussed the classification of Linux servers. Okay, and B1S, yeah, this is a size of the instance. So size of the instance I am taking very basic level, that is B1S. Okay, so I want to connect to this VM via password. VM name is my VM. Sorry, this is username. My user. Password, you can give any password. To come down, selected ports is SSH. Yesterday we have discussed what is mean by inbound port also. Okay, so just for connecting to this virtual machine. Okay, I am opening 22 port number. Apart from that, I am also opening 80 port number. Okay, so 22 port number must be opened. Then only I can connect from my laptop to this virtual machine. Okay, if 22 port number is not opened, we are not able to connect to this virtual machine. Okay, and the disk section. In the last class, we have used the disk as HDD because this is not production system. So that is why you can select ordinary hard disk. Networking. Okay, since we did not have any our own network. Okay, so let the VM be created in default network. What is network, what is disk, and what is the instance? For each and everything, a separate session is there. There we are going to discuss in detail. So just for now, we are selecting, we are going with the defaults. Okay, it is showing that if you want to use this machine, this much you have to pay per hour. 0.9006 INR per hour. Okay, let the VM be created. Now, let us assume there is a requirement like this. So we are launching this virtual machine. In one of the famous Azure region called Central USA, right? Central USA. Central USA. Okay. So assume that this is my virtual machine. This star is my virtual machine. Okay. So just imagine some application we have deployed inside this virtual machine, like e-commerce application. E-commerce application is something like Amazon. Hello. Or Flipkart. These are the shopping websites, online shopping websites. Okay, my end user is using this application. Yeah, can you please mute? Some background noise is coming. Okay, so if it is recorded, my recording quality is degraded. So please keep on mute. If you want to ask something, okay, you can unmute and you can ask me. Okay, just imagine on the occasion of some Diwali or some festival, okay, these people have announced some offer. Okay, what is that offer? Okay, Lappy for 1 INR. Just imagine they have announced this offer. Okay, so no one is going to lose this offer, right? Many persons will be able to, okay, grab this offer. Okay, so in that scenario, automatically the traffic to the server will be increased. The traffic to the VM will be increased. Okay, but the capacity of this VM, the capacity of this server is only 100 users. Okay, if more than 100 users are connected, okay, so the machine will be, okay, stuck. The machine will not be responding. So then what is the alternate here? Okay, the capacity is 100 users, but there are 300 users connected. 300 users are connected because, okay, this is the festival season and they have announced one beautiful offer. Okay, to grab this offer, okay, so many business customers are connected to this virtual machine. And to respond to more members, okay, here we have two options. What are the two options? Either we increase the capacity of the existing server. Okay, this is called as vertical scaling. Vertical scaling. Okay, so this is first option. Okay, initially this machine is very small machine and this cannot handle more than 100 user requests. So for that reason, okay, I have to increase the capacity. The capacity of the machine can be increased. Okay, this is first option. Second option, okay, to respond to more number of users, okay, add one more VM, one more virtual machine. So if one more VM is added, okay, it can handle like this. It can handle one more 100 user requests. So like this, if I have 4 servers, okay, it can handle 400 user requests. Okay, that means dynamically, so machines will be coming up. So when there is no traffic, when there is no usage, okay, so we are going to reduce the servers, right? Okay, add one or more VM, or when the traffic is very low. So when there are only 50 users, for 50 users, okay, when 50 users are there, because the offer is over. When the offer is over, nobody is going to use this application. So in that scenario, okay, what I have to do? We have to remove one VM. Okay, this is called as horizontal scaling. Horizontal scaling. Now, which is best option? Out of two, second one is best option. Why second one is best option? For the first option, to increase the capacity of the server. Okay, so what we have to do? We have to stop the server first. Server is stopped. VM is stopped. When I increase the capacity of the server, VM is stopped. When my VM is stopped, my end user will not be purchasing any items. Okay, will not be connecting to the application. Okay, so when VM is stopped, no longer my application is working. Okay, again we have to increase the capacity. We have to restart the server. Meanwhile, okay, my end user connection will be, what happens? My end user connection will be, okay, disconnected. No end user will be able to use this application. All end user connection will be disconnected because the machine is stopped. Okay, for that, what we are going to do? So we are going to add one or more VM. Okay, so this is called as horizontal scaling. So this you can achieve by using a option called virtual machine scale set. Virtual machine scale set. So for virtual machine scale set, we are going to write a condition. So if the CPU capacity is more than 75%, okay, we are going to write one condition, add one VM. Now within fraction of seconds, according to the workload of this VM, okay, automatically, okay, new machines will come, old machines will go. Okay, when old machines will go, and whenever the CPU load is lesser than 25%. Okay, as the number of users are decreasing, CPU will be less used, right? When the CPU is lesser than 25% usage, okay, what I am going to do? We are going to tell that remove one VM. Remove one VM. Okay, this is going to be happen. That means without your notice, just we are going to specify the condition according to our requirement. Okay, machines might be added, machines might be removed. This is nothing but okay horizontal scaling. So horizontal scaling can be imposed, can be implemented by using virtual machine scale set. By using virtual machine scale set. Okay, so virtual machine scale set I don't discuss now because this requires a lot of concepts to be discussed. Okay, virtual machine scale set is a process of dynamically increasing number of servers when the traffic is increasing, and when the traffic is continuously decreasing, okay, we are going to remove the machines. That is nothing but horizontal scaling. Okay, so horizontal scaling in Azure Cloud Platform can be implemented by using virtual machine scale set feature. Okay, let me save this document. 27 October. Okay. Now we created one virtual machine, right? Our VM is created here. So if you go to resource, okay, these are the particulars of our virtual machine. My is a group resource group name. Status is running. Location is Central USA. Okay, subscription model is pay as you go. Okay, this is my operating system name. This is something like my mission size. This is public IP address. Okay, this is my DNS name. Okay, now if you want to increase the size, how you can increase the size? Before that, let me connect to this machine. So to connect to this machine, use SSH protocol. Okay, so to connect to this machine, go to Git Bash or PowerShell. From PowerShell also you can connect. Okay. Whatever command you have copied from there. Okay, I think I did not connect the. Copy this example command. Go to Git Bash. This is the command to connect to your virtual machine. SSH is a protocol name. Username is my user, and this is public IP address of this virtual machine. Okay. Press enter. Okay. Say yes. Okay, now I am inside the virtual machine. Okay, my machine is running. Now, while this machine is running, if I want to increase the size of this virtual machine, just go to size on the left pane. Are you seeing this one, this option, size option? Select size option. Okay, so presently it is with B1S. B1S is a small virtual machine which is having one virtual CPU, okay, 1 GB RAM. Okay, it is having 2 data disks. And if I want to increase the size, suppose I want to increase the size, go to this D2S_V3. So it is a larger machine, okay, compared to okay B1S. So it is having 2 virtual CPUs, 2 CPUs, 8 GB RAM. Okay. Now when I click on size, what happens? See on the top, resizing virtual machine. Meanwhile, my VM is stopped. Just look at this. Just are you seeing closed? It is closed. Okay. Meanwhile, my application, if the application is running inside the virtual machine, my end user will be suffering, right? My end user will not be continue to purchase the items. Okay. This is the biggest drawback of vertical scaling. Here I explain. Okay. This is the biggest drawback. Okay. This is the virtual machine. and my end user will not be able to use my application because the connection is closed. Again, we have to connect it manually. Okay, once the machine is resized, okay. Once the machine is resized, we have to connect it manually again. So it is not connected automatically. Okay, so if you click on refresh, sorry, refresh. Are you seeing the machine size is increased here? Earlier it was V1S, right? Now it is D2S_V3. Now manually you have to connect to this machine. Again, you have to click on connect. Because this is a process. This is again my manual connectivity. Okay. This is how you can perform upgradation. This is nothing but upgradation of your existing VM. Now, just have a look. Here, suppose at the time of creating virtual machine, okay, I have added one hard disk that is with 32 gigs of capacity. Okay, how to see list of hard disks? To see list of hard disks in current virtual machine, we have a Linux command called lsblk. Now it is going to show all the list of disks. Are you seeing the disk is something with 16 gigs? Now like this disk, I want to add one more. Okay, like this, I want to add one more disk. Okay, with some capacity like 32 or 48. Okay, I want to add one more. Okay, so to add one more disk, so generally, to my laptop, if I want to add a hard disk, I am going to buy a brand new hard disk. I am going to format it. I am going to use it, right? In the similar way, here also, if you want to add a new hard disk, okay, so certain steps you have to follow. So what are the steps? First, let me write. Now here, in the virtual machine home page, okay, are you seeing disks here? Disk section. Click on add. Okay, are you seeing create and attach a new disk? Create and attach a new disk. Click on this. Okay, disk name is my disk. You can write any name for this. And which kind of disk you wanted to add? Okay, there are so many types are there. Okay, so since it is not any production server, okay, just I am selecting normal standard hard disk. Okay, so what are the disk types? There is a separate session there we are going to discuss. Here the minimum capacity is 32 only. In AWS we can have even with 2 GB or 3 GB of new hard disk, but in Azure, okay, the minimum capacity will be 32. Okay, here 500 IOPS means this is hard disk speed. Okay, hard disk speed can be measured in IOPS. Okay, since it is hard disk drive, this is a ordinary disk, the maximum IOPS is 500 only. Okay, now just click on size, save, click on save, so that a new disk will be created and that is attached to the existing VM. Now, if you execute this command once again, lsblk, are you seeing 32 gigs new disk is added? Okay, with the name called SDC. Now directly I cannot use this machine. Sorry, I cannot use this disk. Okay, I have to format it and I have to use it. Okay, so how to format it? Let me search for the documentation. Azure. Okay, hard disk, Linux, VM, disk format. Just set like this. Okay, this is of official documentation given by Azure. Okay. First is asking to execute lsblk command. Next, partition the disk. Next, mounting the disk. Okay. Now let us copy this reference link for reference. Okay, use this one. Let me save this. 7 October. Right. Now let us watch this document. So if you look at this, so we have to use a command called, okay, sudo mkfs.xfs. This is a command we have to run, okay, to format the disk. Okay, let us see this command. Format disk. Okay, how did I add this disk? The first step is go to disks section and add a new disk. And to format the disk, and before that, how did I check the hard disks once the disk is added? I executed lsblk command, right? lsblk, okay. Issue lsblk command to list the disks. Okay, you have to format the disk. The command is, I am going to remove all these things. These are not required. Just you need to write only sudo mkfs.xfs. xfs is a file system name, and device SDC is a disk name to be formatted. Okay, straightly you have to execute this command. So sudo means, as we are not root users, okay, so we have to add sudo keyword. So if you are doing this activity from root user, sudo is not required. Okay, so directly you can run this. So I am going to copy this. Execute this. Okay, my disk is formatted. So once the disk is formatted, even though it is showing that, okay, it is not mounted. Okay, it is not attached with any drive. So like in Windows operating system, we have C drive, D drive. Here also we have to link this SDC with some data drive. Okay, so with some link with some data drive. Okay, for that we have to create a new disk. Create a data drive and attach the disk to the data drive. Okay, here the command is very simple. Sudo mkdir/data drive. This is nothing but directory. Sudo mkdir/data drive. Now my data drive is created. So once the data drive is created, how you can link this data drive with the disk? Okay, let us go to documentation again. Okay, here this is a command is asking to execute. Okay, what is the command? Sorry, again this one, right? This command we have to run. Sudo mount. My disk name is SDC only. Okay, data drive. Well, this is a very simple command which we can execute. It is done, right? Now see once again LSBLK. Are you seeing this? This was mounted on data drive. Now, if you want to use the disk, go into the drive. Okay, now so see, create some files. Sudo touch F1, F2, F3. Okay, now we can come out and we can use it. Okay. Yeah, till this point, any questions, any doubts? Today we have created one virtual machine and we added a hard disk. And to use the hard disk, we have formatted and we have created a data drive and we have mounted the data disk onto the drive. Till this point, if you have any questions, you can ask me.
No question.
So these are all required for a DevOps engineer. Okay, without knowing all these concepts directly. Okay, so we cannot move to the Azure DevOps. No questions?
Sir, how will you share these notes?
Okay, I will share these notes to training team. From training team, you can collect.
Okay.
Now, what is the need of creating our own image? The third aspect which we have to discuss now. Okay. See, my company has developed one application. Just imagine, my company has developed one e-commerce application. E-commerce application. Okay. E-commerce application or a Java application, .NET application, Python application, whatever application is least bothered. My company has developed one application. Okay. I want to deploy this application to 50 servers. 250 servers, but manually deploying this application, okay, to each and every server takes a lot of time, and that is also not called as okay right approach. That is also not called as right approach. Okay, for that what we are going to do? So we are going to create a VM. Create a VM. Okay, and after creation of VM, we install or deploy the application, okay, in the VM. And once my application is installed, deployed in my application, okay, what I am going to do? I am going to create a VM, sorry, create a VM image from the above VM. Okay, that means when I start 50 servers, my company application will be pre-installed. Okay, my company application will be pre-installed. That because okay, we are creating 50 servers from a VM image. It is not given by Azure. Okay, so it is a VM that is created by okay our company team. Okay, so install or deploy the application in the VM. Okay, from the VM, create a VM image from the above VM. Okay, once VM image is created, from the VM image create as many as servers. In my case, just I am speaking about 50 servers. So in each every server contains. Okay, now every VM contains the application. Okay. Now in each and every server, my company application is pre-installed. You need not to install it manually. That is a case, okay, where exactly we are going to create VM images. Okay. For that, let me do some installation in this VM. Okay. So let us say sudo apt-get update. Just I'm installing some application. Sorry. Apt update only. Okay, so once the application is installed, once the repository is updated, execute this command to install some application. Application can be anything. So in my case, just I am considering the application is Apache 2. Apt install -y Apache 2. Okay, now test whether the application is installed successfully or not. For that, what I have to do? Service, sudo service, Apache 2, status. Are you seeing this application is active and running? So we are also going to test from browser. How to check it from browser? To check it from browser, go to overview section of the VMs, and you are seeing this public IP address sites. Check it whether it is working or not. Are you seeing Apache 2 is working? Okay, once you ensure that the application is working, are you seeing capture option here? Okay, this is to create our VM image. Click on capture option. It is going to ask some questions. Okay, how many copies you wanted to create? What is your gallery name? Okay, what is the image name? Okay, you have to specify the details. Okay, so where you want to deploy this application? What is the resource group? Resource group already I created, right, in the earlier step, MyRG. Okay, and target image gallery. Okay, gallery is nothing but is a logical container. Okay, gallery contains images. Okay, since we don't have any gallery, we have to create a gallery now. Target image gallery. Okay, and click on this create new. My gallery. You can write some name and just come down. Okay, generalized specialized means, okay, if you make generalized, so this image can be shared by other team members. And target image definition. Okay, what is the image definition? Since we don't have any definition, click on create image name. Image name is for my dev team. So click on OK. And what is the end of the life of this image? Okay, I want to keep for 1 day. After 1 day, automatically the image will be disappeared. How many images you wanted to create? Just only one. Okay, now click on tags. If you want to specify some tags, write tags. Otherwise, directly you can click on create. What is the basic information field? Okay, we have to specify version also. Version is something like 1.0.0. Okay, if you have different versions, suppose tomorrow in the morning, okay, I have changed my version. I have changed my software into my virtual machine. I want to deploy a new application. Then you can define a new version. click on create. It takes more than 15 minutes of time because internally it has to do many activities. It has to create snapshot. It has to stop the virtual machine. Okay. And it has to create tags. Many things it has to do internally.
Sir, so this is creating an image under the virtual machine, right?
Under the virtual machine means?
Like, are we creating this image? I mean, so right now we are creating the server, only one server, and that the same server can be used for other.
No, no,
Um,
no. We are creating image from the server.
okay.
We are creating image from the server. Okay, whatever image, whatever server is there. Okay, so in this server we have Apache 2 application, right? Okay,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
application will be okay there in the image. Okay, so when you in the normal images, what happens? Only one operating system is there. But
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this image, operating system is there plus Apache 2 server is there, is also there in the image.
Yes, yes.
Sir,
Yes.
so we'll use these images for auto scaling. When load gets heavier,
Yeah, we can
okay.
use this image for auto scaling also. Virtual machine scale set.
Okay.
Here it is a virtual machine scale set. It is not auto scaling. Auto scaling is a part of is a term from AWS.
Yes, sir. That's why.
Hmm.
Okay.
In AWS, this is called as AMI, Amazon Machine Image. Here it is a shared image,
Okay.
VM image or shared image.
Sir, to create these virtual machines and the like, we'll be have to take the trial version, or like how to like we can take the trial version and practice, right?
Which one? Azure?
I mean Azure portal, sir, like normal.
Yeah. In the day before yesterday's class, I have shown how you can create free tier Azure account also. For that, we need to have one credit card, one email ID, one
Yeah.
mobile number is required. Okay. So if your
I missed
credit
it
card is
actually.
very new card, okay, that means if you did not use that credit card earlier, okay, you will be getting $200 in your account.
Okay.
Okay, that $200 you can use for creating virtual machines and creating storage, networking, many things you can create with $200. Okay, so within first
Okay.
month only you have to use $200. If you are not using $200 within a month, okay, that will be
Okay.
expired.
Okay, I think we'll not get that much chance to use all those amount. I'm thinking.
Yes,
Is that
yes,
true?
you are right.
Okay. Yeah.
But you have to use it all $200 within a month. Okay, if not,
Yeah.
okay, that will be completely expired.
Yeah, sir, I get it.
Hmm.
Sir, since this is taking time, I just had one doubt actually. Since you are running this sudo commands, right? I've been following, like I have been following while creating. I mean, it was many steps, right, to create virtual machine. But I missed the screen, right? There is a screen you are running all these sudo commands.
Yes.
I didn't observe the why like when it was coming, sir. Can you show me like from where the screen? I mean, from where the screen comes, so that I'll have an idea.
Which screen? Which
This
screen?
one,
Which
this one,
screen?
this one.
Hmm.
So after filling all the details, we'll create a VM server to
Yes.
get this window from where we need to get it, sir.
Yeah, this is my notepad, right?
Okay.
From notepad, I'm creating all these commands. In the notepad, just I'm writing all the steps so that I can share this document with you.
Okay.
Okay, sudo means since we are not root users, okay, if you are running this command as a root user, sudo is not required. Okay, since we are running this command as a Ubuntu user, my user, okay, sudo is required.
Okay.
Okay, so this is my notepad. From notepad I am copying. Okay, this is my git bash.
Okay.
Okay, how to install git bash also yesterday in the yesterday session I have discussed everything. In yesterday
Yes.
session, day before yesterday session. Actually, this is the third session of Azure Admin.
I have attended the first session. I missed the
Hmm.
second session actually. That's why I think I'm missing.
Yeah. You can collect recording from training team.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have asked them, but they haven't sent it. I'll check with them again, sir. Thank you.
These they will send you. Okay, ask for yesterday's recording also.
Yeah, sir. I'll ask them. So this is Ming W64 is something like, is that which one, sir? Is
It is git bash terminal.
okay.
It is git bash terminal. Okay, so the git bash is a it is just like a mediator. It is just like interface between your LAPI and remote server.
Okay. Okay. So we have to separate it install or
Yeah, you
while
have to install it. You have to install it. Okay. Yesterday that one also I have shown. Okay, once
Yeah,
again I will show. Okay, so you can go to browser. You can ask like this: git download.
okay.
Which operating system you are using? Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows 8.
10, sir. Windows 10.
Yeah, for Windows 10, this is not required because in Windows 10 by default you can use SSH. Okay, how you can use it? Just I will show. Okay.
Okay.
Here this is overview section. In the overview section, and just you click on connect button. Okay, I cannot
Yeah.
use this. Okay, here go to PowerShell. Even in
Okay.
Git bash is not required here. Okay, if you are using Windows 10 means Git bash is not required. Directly you can connect from PowerShell.
Okay.
SSH. Okay, the username is my user.
Okay.
@ Okay, whatever public IP address have used something like that. If we suppose the IP address of the virtual machine is 172.18.98. Something like this. You can click on this. Now immediately you are going to be connected. Okay, because I of course I did not give correct IP address. Okay, because my machine is closed.
Yeah.
Okay, so public address. How to collect public IP address in the earlier step I have shown you, right?
Yeah. Yes, there we have. Yeah.
Okay, if you are using Windows 10, okay, no need of downloading any Git bash software.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Okay, if the public IP address is correct, okay,
Yeah.
you will be in a virtual machine.
Yeah, sir. You can show us that once we connect that image, once we have that image, the image this thing is done.
It takes time. It takes more than 20 minutes of time.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I have a question while it is deploying right now. So, so after completion of this course, how much years of experience can we show in Azure Admin and Azure DevOps?
See, exactly. We cannot say how much you are proving. Okay, how much you wanted to keep, that much you can keep, because completely depends on your knowledge and practice. Okay, how much you are practice, okay, that much you can put. Suppose you practice well, you can put up 3 to 4 years of experience. because Azure DevOps is not
Okay.
old technology, right? So it was there in the industry for the past 4 years. So you cannot put more than 4 years.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, if you want to put more than 6 or 7 years experience, okay, 3 years you have to put on this Azure DevOps. Okay, remaining experience you can put on normal generic DevOps.
Okay. I
Generic
was
DevOps
thinking of
because it was
putting
there.
Azure admin.
It was there in the industry for the past 10 years. Okay, so you can keep
Okay.
7 years on generic DevOps, 3 years on this Azure DevOps. Totally, you can put up 10 years of experience.
Okay. And will we be getting interview questions, and how about the hands-on experience? Like we will be showing at least. So I was trying to show 2 years of experience. So in the interview, they will ask what roles and what you have done in your previous project or previous organization. So what we will so how we can share that information? So will you be giving us that information as well?
See, at the time of Azure DevOps session, I will explain everything. First, let us finish this Azure admin. Okay. So
Okay.
when we start Azure DevOps sessions, okay. So
Okay.
we are going to discuss what are the day-to-day responsibilities, day-to-day jobs of a DevOps engineer. Okay. What you have
Okay.
to do. Okay. What your developers will be doing. What other people
Okay.
will be doing. Okay. So how to
Okay.
face troubleshooting. Entire things we are going to start from Azure DevOps sessions.
Okay. So I was planning to show Azure Admin plus Azure DevOps as so that's the reason I
Definitely,
was
if you put
asking.
experience on Azure DevOps, definitely they will ask questions from Azure. Okay, admin.
Okay.
Okay. See my
Yeah.
resources created. Go to resource.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you want to create a virtual machine from this image, means go to favorites, select virtual machines again. Okay. Click on create virtual machine. Okay, here you have to fill up the details. Resource group is same resource group that I have used for creating virtual machine. VM name is my VM. Okay, so just to come down. Okay, central US, no infrastructure. You know, this time you have to see this see all images. You have to select our image in see all images. See all images. Okay, just now we created image, right? Choose shared images. Shared images. Are you seeing my gallery? Click on my for dev team. Okay, so what is the image I selected? My gallery. From my gallery, the image name was for my dev test. Okay, VM type is V1S. Username is Azure user. You can give anything. Okay, I want to connect via password. My user. Okay, this time I want to open 80 also. License type, it is not required because we don't have license. Must be unique. My VM1. Okay, image name is my gallery. Okay, from my gallery we have selected VM image. Click on disk. Networking. Okay. Management. Okay. The disk section, we have to choose something like ordinary disks, HDD. Networking. Management. Just a minute, let it be created. So this is the last day for your free demos. Okay. So you have to from today, from tomorrow onwards, if you want to attend continuous sessions, please complete your payments because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days we have given demonstrations.
Sir, I paid fees after from Monday. Can you create group something like that?
From Monday,
Is it possible to create a group? I already paid the fees.
you already paid the fees.
Yes, sir.
Sudhir, right?
Yeah, I paid
Okay.
1 week back or 5 days back.
Okay. You have joined in Azure Admin or Azure DevOps.
Azure DevOps.
Okay. Now go to resource. Are you seeing go to resource? And let me show this time I will connect via PowerShell. Click on connect. Okay, this is my PowerShell. Say yes. Right. Now check whether Apache 2 is available or not. I did not install anything. Service Apache 2 status. Are you seeing right? Active and running. This is the way how you can create virtual machine from VM images. So you can also test from browser. This is a public IP address. You can test it from browser. Are you seeing it is working? Okay. So this is very, very important aspect for a DevOps and cloud admin. Okay. So I'm stopping the session because it is already 6-8 other batch students are waiting. I have another meeting. Okay. So we'll meet again in the next session.
Yeah, sir. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for attending. Okay. Once again, I'm telling if you are interested in Azure DevOps course because this is a very best opportunity for this very less amount of fees. No one is going to offer 2 courses. Okay. You know the market. Okay. I need not to explain. I need not to convey about this course because for this small amount of fees, we are providing 2 courses, Azure Admin and Azure DevOps. Okay, so thank you for attending. Okay, I'm stopping the meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.